Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming. Tonight, before we get started, let me address the question that was posed last night towards the end. The question from Korea was, oh, that's bunny rabbit, it's different. Okay, it's about the Medicine Master Buddha's repentance. Okay, and there's a line in the repentance where when you, it's not clear which line, which page number it was, but it says that you hear my name, Buddha, Master Buddha, Medicine Master Buddha's name, and it enters your ears and you receive and uphold it, you get a lot of blessings. Okay. And so the question was that, why here? I thought that you're supposed to recite or something. Okay. This is a special case where in this particular Medicine Master Buddha Dharma door, you can simply don't have to recite the Buddha's name. You simply hear it and you shou zhi, you receive and uphold it. That's the requirement. Okay? So someone else can make the sound or you can make your own sound because when you recite you can hear yourself. Okay? Or you can recite silently yourself. That's also hearing. Okay? And so hearing here is not necessarily simply the sound itself, but also all the seeing, the hearing, the smelling, and so forth. Okay, so any of those sensory organs that pick up the Medicine Master Buddha's concept. Okay, and when you in that situation and your mind receives and upholds it, that's the key. It's not simply hearing or reciting, but also upholding and receiving. Okay, upholding meaning that you will be mindful of the name. Okay, receiving, upholding, and receiving is that you give rise to faith, and you have no doubt in particular. All right, you don't question, you don't doubt it. You have that when you hear the Buddha's name, Medicine Master Buddha's name, and you have no doubt in your mind, okay? And you are mindful of the Buddha's name, okay? Then you receive those great benefits. What are the implications? The implication is that, first of all, in an assembly, and we're doing the Buddha's name recitation, Medicine Master Buddha's name recitation, or the repentance, okay? So while the whole assembly reciting, that will enter your sense organs, okay? And make sure you receive and uphold it. Then you get the benefits, okay? Any questions? Is it clear? When you ask questions about the text, I would appreciate your quote the text itself, okay, so that I can look at the original text. Second part, she says that what about those living beings who cannot hear Medicine Master Buddha's name? Okay, will they get the response, the blessings? Again, it's not so much hearing, but also in terms of all the sense organs. If your sense organs can pick up the Buddha's name, Medicine Master Buddha's name, and you receive and uphold it, you get the benefits. So for example, if someone who cannot see, but they can hear, if they attend the assembly, or let's say they turn on the recitation machines, okay? Then they also get the benefits as long as they receive and uphold the Buddha's name. All right? What about those who cannot? Then they can't get the benefits, and that's one of the handicaps, and one of the difficulties when you have in a spiritual practice. It turns out that, for example, if you slander the triple jewel, you slander the Buddha, you slander the Dharma, you slander the sagely Sangha, you slander the small Sangha is okay. When you slander the sagely Sangha, which you cannot tell the difference, okay, you will fall to the hells. And then eventually, when you get back to the human realm, many of you will not have the 5 sense organs. Okay, your organs will be deficient. It's because you are prevented from benefiting from hearing the Dharma or from learning the Dharma. That's how serious it is. All right? So you do it to yourself. Don't blame anyone. All right. And what about number 3? In the third part, he says, the second part. He says that, Jumi says that, how about the Heart Sutra? The Heart Sutra says there's no nose, no ears, no hearing, no sound. So what seems to be in contradiction with the Dharma taught in the Medicine Master Buddha's repentance? For this, I would refer to my abbots. Go ahead, Master Old Monk, go ahead. Is he there? Why the contradiction? And Jumi is right there too, Master Old Monk.
Di Đà Phật. Đã nghe chưa? Cái mà vô nhảy tỷ thiệt thân ý đó, đó là nói về cái lý của tánh không như vậy. Mà cái sự đó là mình phải niệm danh hiệu, phải tu, phải giữ giới mới lên được cái lý đó, chứ không phải tự nhiên đi thẳng cái lý đó mà ai làm được. Lý sự phải song song. Cái cô đã hỏi là không nhãn nhĩ nô nhãn, không nhãn nhĩ tiệt thân ý. Đó là cái lý của kinh Bát Nhã, của cái tâm kinh. Mà muốn đi vào đó nó phải giữ giới, phải tu, phải giữ làm lành, phải gặp thiện tri thức, làm đủ tất cả các bước mới đạt được cái lý đó. Phải dùng phải nghe cái tai mà vật lý của mình nghe trước cái đã. Tự nhiên mà bỏ đi vô đó làm sao vậy được. Xin hết.
Emitofuo. So in the sutra, which say there's no ear, nose, eyes, tongue, and body. They are talking about the principle of the empty nature. That, however, the noumena, the actual, the practice is that you have to recite the Buddha name, you have to keep precept, and gradually you will be able to go to realize the principle. But if you go straight to the principle, the theory behind behind those, you cannot do it. Who can actually just go straight to that? So in the Heart Sutra, we say there's no eye, ears, nose formation, so on. They are talking about the principle. However, you have to find a good knowing advisor. You have to cultivate key precept and do all of that before you were able to realize those principles. That's all.
Very good. You're going to take some time off during the end of the year, Ahung? Or
I
you're
don't know,
out of
Master.
vacations?
I do have a lot of hours vacation.
Or hours vacations?
But
Why don't
have
you
to
take
be-
some vacation time and fast
Yes,
for
Master.
about 7 or 9 days?
Yes, Master.
Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Make sure you can translate. Huh?
Yes, Master.
Okay.
Con có một
Okay,
câu,
we go to the other two abbots in any order you like. They're younger, so they can do any order they wish. We always defer to the older guys first, and then. Go ahead, the other abbots. What do you have to say?
다른 주제 스님들 뭐라고 하겠습니까?
Look at that, they're fighting each other.
Well, Master, I think Master C had something else to say. She was saying something.
Okay?
A Di Đà Phật. Nghe được chưa? Là cách nay khoảng tháng 11, đầu tháng 11. Nghe chưa? Thì máy bay còn 2 tiếng nữa tới Việt Nam đó, thì máy bay nó lắc. Thì mọi người phải khẩn cấp là seat belt. Thì con mới lúc đó con đang niệm chú Đại Bi để giết thời gian thôi. Thì máy bay không có hết lắc. Rồi con quay con thử Nam Mô Quan Thế Âm Bồ Tát, không hết lắc. Thì trước tới 3 ngày đi Việt Nam ở bên Mỹ về đó, con có nghe một buổi thuyết giảng, thầy có nói là một chuyến bay nào đó máy bay nó lắc, thầy nói với everyone, giáo sư如Lai. Thì cái hạt giống nó đã nằm trong cái đầu con rồi, cho nên con thử. Tại con nghĩ thầy nội niệm dược sư thì con niệm Quan Âm cũng vậy thôi. Pháp nào cũng vậy, đâu có cái gì đặc biệt đâu. Đi xe Mercedes hay xe Toyota cũng vậy thôi.
What? Jung would object to that. Translate up to that point so that people can see what the fuss is about.
Emitofuo, Master, this is an experience that I have, I think, at the beginning of November. So it's about 2 hours before I reached Vietnam. I was on the flight, and at that time, the airplane shook due to turbulence. So they went on to emergency mode, and everybody have to seat belt fasten up. At that time, I also recite Great Compassion mantra, but then it doesn't work. So then I changed to recite Namo Quan Shu Yin Bodhisattva. Still, it doesn't stop the shaking of the airplanes. So then before I went to Korea, I remember that Master talked about reciting Medicine Master Buddha's name before going to the airplane. And so at that, Master told everybody to recite Yao Shu Ru Lai. So I thought about those concepts is that all the cups, the teacup are the same. So just like you're driving the same Mercedes, Toyota, it's just the same thing.
Okay, continue.
Trong cái ý của con á là
Toyota is not the same Mercedes. I don't care what you say, okay? You don't drive a Mercedes. You only drive Toyota. Wait till you drive Mercedes, then you know it's not the same.
다르다는 걸 알게 되고
See, now he's speechless.
봐라 벌써 말문을 잃었다.
nghe chưa? Con thử Nam Mô Dược Sư Phật thì cái máy bay nó lắc á, nó dừng giống như mình thổi cái đàn cày á.
Whoa.
Giống mình hỏi đàn cày sao nó vậy đó.
Wow, you have to
Con cũng
learn
chưa có tin.
Vietnamese. This is so special
Con chưa
effects.
có tin, con chưa có tin hẳn. Thì con trở lại Nam Mô Hắc Ra Đắc Na Đắc Ra Gia Gia không có hết. Rồi niệm Nam Mô Quan Sư Danh Bồ Sa không có hết. Lần thứ hai là Nam Mô Dược Sư Phật, nó thổi giống như thổi đàn cày luôn.
Wow.
Rồi không có tin nữa, lần thứ ba cũng vậy, lần thứ ba thì tới Dược Sư Phật thì tắt, nó im tức khắc như mình thổi đàn cày vậy đó, chứ không phải là nó từ từ nữa. Từ đó nay con về Việt Nam con thỉnh cái kinh Dược Sư con nghiên cứu từ bữa nay thì nó rất là rõ ràng rồi. Cái cô gì mới hỏi nghe danh hiệu đó, thì tự nghe danh hiệu nó trải hết cho quý vị, chứ cần cái gì phải tánh nghe vô mắt.
You should learn this, boy. This is cool. I mean Vietnamese.
Chỉ vô lọt tai thôi thì nó tự cái tiếng nghe đó nó sẽ có cái màu nhiệm của nó giúp cho quý vị. Thậm chí bữa nay con nghiên cứu cái kinh này thì ngài nói được khi ngài đắc Bồ đề rồi đó, tự đương chúng sanh sẽ được từ từ sẽ được đầy đủ 32 tướng, dầu có niệm hay không niệm danh hiệu ngài. Rồi thứ ba là được tất cả lợi lạc. Cho nên con mới là nhận ra là bây giờ con được đưa lên một cái pháp khác. Chứ không phải cái pháp nào hơn pháp nào, mà bây giờ tới trình độ hay học cái pháp khác là phải trì danh hiệu Phật Dược Sư. Xin hết.
So my point is that at first I recite Namo Harlai Danai Dolai Yaya, it doesn't work, and then I recite Namo
That's the
Yao
Great
Shi Ru Lai.
Compassion Mantra, by the way, the first line of the Great Compassion Mantra.
So then I recite Namo Yao Shi Ru Lai, and immediately that instantaneously the airplane stopped shaking. It's like you blow off the candle.
What he just said is that he recited the first line, he started reciting the Great Compassion Mantra, it has no effect, and then he recited Wan Yin's name, still no effect, and he switched to Medicine Master Buddha's name. And
then the airplane stopped shaking like you blow a candle. And at that time, I still did not quite believe. However, I did it the second time. I recite Namo Halai Danai Dolai Yaya again. And then I switched to Namo Kwanshyin Bodhisattva. And then I switched to Namo Medicine Master Buddha. And the second time, it stopped exactly like the first time, like you blow the candle. The turbulence stopped. And I still did not believe. So I tried the third time. So then I realized that you don't need to use the hearing nature. Just recite and you see that these magical things will happen. So to the point that I went to Vietnam, I request the sutra itself, I bring it back. And today I started to research, do my own study, and I found a line saying that you hear of the name, even not reciting, you will still be full with the 32 hallmarks and 80 characteristic. And so then I felt that I was be able to receive another new Dharma. It's not that Dharma is, it's just another different Dharma. At this point, it's not that we're discriminating anything. It's just that my path right now is I'm reciting the Medicine Master Buddha name. That's it.
okay, very good, thank you. Okay, the other abbots, what do you have to say?
Emitofuo Master, to me, I think in the Heart Sutra, because from the beginning, it's already said that the Great Compassion Bodhisattva enter the emptiness and see the form is not different from the emptiness, and emptiness is not different from the form. So it's actually explained like there already. So later says that the nose is no nose, no eyes, and so and so. It's just more explanation of from the beginning. So like if you already see the know is emptiness, and the emptiness is know that there are no more suffering already. So you just recite or not hearing and not hearing the Buddha name is just the same. That's what I think.
Very good. You see, now the abbot's going to explain, speak the Dharma. And
I don't know the answer.
don't have the answer.
I don't have the answer.
Okay. All right. In some point in the future, you have to explain it based on the sutras and the dharmas. Okay. To give people the comfort of knowing that what you know is based on the profound principles, not just hearsay or blind faith. Okay? Keep that in mind, because some point, when I'm here, it's okay, but when I'm not here, you need to inspire faith in people. All right. Well, you heard the answers. Why you look at me? Okay, very good. The two explanations are excellent. They're exactly what it is. I want to point out to you for the abbot to bring up the concept of phenomenon and nomenon. It's not bad. And most monks and nuns would not be able to explain it that way. So I'm very pleased. How are you doing, old abbot, over there? Are you freezing your bones? So the cold is empty as well? How are you surviving all of this?
어떻게 살아남고 있어요?
A Di Đà Phật, con thấy con ok nào, không bây giờ không sao hết.
It's not cold?
Dạ không.
It's not cold? Wow, he says it's okay. It's the same as the Toyota. It's all empty. Okay, very good.
Con xin nói cái nữa là cái này nó xảy ra cho con hồi năm 1990. Tức là bắt đầu niệm danh hiệu Quan Âm 15 năm liên tục. Thì cái gì cũng có hết, cái gì cũng được hết. Rồi sau 15 năm rồi không được nữa. Thì con mới nổi giận, con nói con không học cho Bồ Tát Quan Âm nữa. Con chỉ học với một vị tăng nào già lớn tuổi thôi. Quan Âm ở đâu con không thấy. Thì ngay đêm đó thì gặp một vị tăng già mà chết ở trong tù. Họ mới nói với con là Kinh Kim Cang Bát Nhã với cái tâm kinh với Kinh Kim Cang nó không có chịu làm, đi theo hỏi hoài. Từ đó tới bây giờ con cũng áp dụng như vậy. Hạt Sutra với Kinh Bát Nhã, tất cả mộng nguyện bảo ảnh. Thì bây giờ tới cái Dược Sư thì tự con như qua thầy giảng rồi cái con mắt trạch pháp đó, tự con lần mò ra bây giờ mình được dạy một bài học khác. Cứ theo cái bài học này đi học đi, rồi từ từ nó sẽ tới thôi. Không có thắc mắc gì nữa hết. Xin hết.
So there's one more thing that I would like to talk about is it's happened in 1990s. It's like when I have been reciting Kuan Yin's Bodhisattva name for 15 years already. So then after 15 years, so at that time, everything I wished for become true. However, after 15 years, that nothing happened, so I become angry, and I told myself that I don't want to learn with Kuan Yin Bodhisattva anymore because I cannot see her. I just wanted to learn from an old monk. So at that night, I dreamed of an old monk in the prison. He taught me about the Vajra Sutra, just based on the teaching and apply that, cultivate on that. Why do you ask so much? And then from that time, I just apply the Heart Sutra and the Vajra Sutra in my practice. And now the new Dharma of Medicine Master Buddha come just like yesterday, Master taught us about the Fayen, the Dharma selecting eye. So I use that medicine master Buddha Dharma to practice, and there's no more question about anything. That's all.
Excellent. Now, can I ask you a question, old abbot?
스님 내가 질문 하나 해도 돼?
You miss Vietnamese food.
당신 베트남 음식이 그립습니까?
Bây giờ con rất là ok thầy, thấy
Now you okay? You miss Vietnamese food a little bit?
아니면 약간 그립습니까?
hôm qua con đi ăn cơm rồi con đi bách bộ xung quanh đó thì con mới nhớ một người rất là giàu ở Việt Nam. Bà này có là 17-18 triệu đô la. Bây giờ xung đột vấn đề mạng xã hội, giờ ở tù 3 năm. Còn 1 năm mấy nó mới xong cái 3 năm tù này. Thì con mới nhận ra là người ta ở 3 năm trong tù. Bây giờ con ở 2 năm, 1 năm ở Hàn Quốc. Một mặt đó thì con tu, một mặt thì con xây dựng cái phước báo. Còn bà kia nghỉ 3 năm trong tù để chịu cái chuyện đó gây ra. Mình đâu có khổ gì đâu.
I'm not sure we want to translate this. But translate anyway. We have nothing to hide.
So yesterday I took a walk around, and I remember there's a very famous and rich Vietnamese lady there. She have 17 to 18 million dollar, and so then she has a controversy with the online social media, and so she was sent to prison for 3 years. However, here I am in Korea just 2 or 1 year, being in the prison. But however, I was able to build up my blessing and cultivate. But that lady, she was in the prison for 3 years. She was not allowed, or she was not able to cultivate blessing at all.
Okay? In here in the US, let me remind you, when you go to prison, I'm told you eat a lot of beans. Because a lot of Hispanics in the prison. So what do they serve you in prison over there?
Vì Phật quý cô đó cho cái gì con ăn cái đó.
For those ladies and nuns give me whatever, I'll eat whatever.
Okay, you sound very good. Are you healthy? Are you okay?
비구니 스님들이 그들이 원하는 것을 아무거나 나에게 주고 나는 그것들을 아무거나 먹습니다.
Dạ con rất là ổn, con không có dùng thuốc nữa, bỏ tất cả thuốc tây rồi. Bao nhiêu thuốc Kaiser là con không có uống nữa, giờ con chỉ hàng ngày con tụng kinh tu vậy thôi, với ngồi thiền vậy thôi.
Wow, let me translate for you. He says he dropped all meds and he simply cultivates every day. Okay, that prison is pretty good for you. Prison life is not bad, huh? I wouldn't mind that either. Okay.
Lâu lâu con thử rồi con đi lên xuống thang lầu là tầng 9 bằng cái chân không xài thang máy. Rất ok.
Wow. He's showing off now.
So once in a while, I try to walk up the stair to the 9th floor without using elevator, and I feel okay, nothing at all.
사용하지 않고
Okay. And just one tip for you. Do not say that Toyotas are the same as BMWs. Because many of our disciples drive BMWs. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so finally, let me give you a brief answer to the question. Question is, if you hear Medicine Master Buddha's name, you get the benefits. And But the name is empty as well. And that refers to people, as the abbots correctly pointed out, depends on where you are. When you first start, you recite the Buddha's name, do the repentance, then you get the benefits. But eventually, you will also be able to reach a level where you are no longer attached to the name and the benefits associated with it. That's when you unfold your great wisdom. Okay? And so it depends. So what they answered you is it depends on where you are. You starting out, the Heart Sutra says there's no sound, there's no hearing organ, and so forth. And that refers to when you are enlightened, that's what you understand. But since we're not there, then doing the repentance is very, very important. Okay? Then the obvious question next is, can you have both? Absolutely. Once you're enlightened, you understand you're no longer attached to the benefits. Okay, because the benefits are empty, your hearing is empty, you have that kind of great wisdom, you're no longer attached to it, you no longer are greedy for those benefits, and that's why you still want to do the repentance, because when you do it without any attachments, the benefits are far greater. I hope it helps. Okay, did I answer all the questions today from Jumi? Yes, 5 finger too.
Master, I have been fasting for almost 7 days.
Yeah, it shows.
How many days should I fast? How many more days should I fast?
It all depends on Jianan.
Me?
Look at her, look at how happy she looks. You can go as long as Jianan goes.
Really?
How long you plan to It's a Korean thing. Don't get into the Korean thing. Yes, Jianan Sunim, how long do you plan to go? Look at her face, looks so happy.
Master,
She's
how
at
many
peace.
days Master, how many days would you want me to fast?
What? What did she say? I can't hear.
How many
I
days
know.
would you
I know
want
the sound is empty.
How many days would you want me to fast?
Seeing how happy you look. How many days? I will leave it to the abbot. I don't want to come across cruel. Oh, abbot, how many days do you think she should fast?
Praise the Lord.
Con không có biết, tùy theo cái sức chịu đựng của cổ với lại cái tâm mình lúc mình thực hành thế nào, nó đâu có giống nhau được.
Okay, very good. He said, up to her. It depends on how much she can bear. How much Xian Sunim? How many days do you think she should fast? You must have an answer. Pick a number from the air.
Pick a number.
Mình ráng chịu qua một ngày thôi. Tới 12 giờ mình vô ngủ rồi, mình chỉ là sáng mai thức dậy mình nói ráng hết ngày mai thôi. Cứ vậy thôi mà tôi qua được 27 ngày rất là dễ thôi. Mặc dù mấy ngày trước mà tôi chỉ làm hết tuần ngày.
Oh. Ahom, go ahead and translate.
So you just try your best one more day. So at 12 o'clock at night, you say you already passed through one day. You just keep trying another day. For me, I tried that for 27 days already.
See how
Đấy là-
excited the girls are.
Đây là-
Go ahead, Sin Sin Sunim. What do you think? How many days?
So how many?
You can all be grateful to the abbot's teachings.
Can you
Master
hear me?
is taking a break tonight.
So what's the longest days that you fasted before?
9.
9?
Oh
And
no.
she was going crazy. And she said, Master, give me banana, I give you $100. I said, only $100? When she was still working, she could afford it. Yeah, so 9 days.
No, 17 days. I did 17 days.
Oh no, how impressive.
I shouldn't have told you.
Go. She can't blame it on me now.
So Xiao Tai says 18.
Okay, you heard Xiao Tai. How about the young abbot? We go by consensus, as you notice. We are very democratic.
Yeah, Master, I think Veros Sianan can do 3 more days.
From today?
Yeah.
Thank you.
She can't say, I love you. Well, you notice some of us have compassion. What about the newbie? How many days?
Master, she did only 3 days in the past.
Well, she was a lay person. Doesn't count.
I think she's fine.
You both have 7 days? Why if she looks fine, how come you're so miserable? I don't
Me?
get it. Yeah. Okay, people, let's take a vote. Who looks more miserable? Yeah. It's an act. Xianan puts have some compassion. But Xin Xin and Xiao Tai has 0 compassion. Hey, young man, look at how much suffering she is. I bet you that before the lecture, she looked just fine. Okay. So the young abbot says 10 days, okay, 3 more days. Old abbot says 1 more day, indefinitely. And Xiao Tai says 18 days. So which one should we recommend to her? See, she looks better now immediately. When I call her out and say, you are putting on an act, she looks normal again. Okay, so what about the young ones, huh? The newbie? Xiao Tai. Her max so far was 3. Now the highest is 7. Hey, it looks better actually. You gaining weight or what? Are you getting fat? How much you weigh? Like 68 kilos? Okay. How many? 9? See, 7 already. 9 is no challenge. 11 for her. Okay? And Xienan, look at Xienan. Okay? She looks so much better now. Yeah? So, 18, huh, Xiao Tai? Hey, it's not like you have to speak Dharma, you have to teach Chan, or you have to get along with the abbot there. You see, you got it made. You're on vacation. Okay, very good. Anyone else? Anyone else? Oh, Wei Mountain has a question.
Master.
How many days are you?
13일째예요.
13일.
13 days.
13.
I know, 13. She's a late person and she's 13. Okay, go ahead, ask your question.
어떻게 할까요? 더 할까요?
Can I keep it?
You want to keep going?
Yeah.
Okay, we leave it to Dewey to decide how many days. Did you fast, Dewey?
Hello, Master, not yet. Next week.
Next week. Dewey is very smart. Never fasted before. Okay, how many days should she keep?
I think 18 is very good.
18. Very gentle man. Okay, very good. 18. I hear 18. Do I hear better? Huh?
오경아 화이팅!
Yeah, go 18. Yeah,
There.
definitely she can do 18. Suffer more. Does it hurt? Are you suffering?
하나도 안 아파요.
No, I'm not suffering now.
You should become a nun. Okay, thank you very much. Good luck to you. Anyone else has any questions? Okay, very good. Okay, let's continue with Master YongHua's teachings. Let's do the Dharma thing instead of gossiping.
Why do you want to take the 5 precepts? 人越多了。所以做到。This is very difficult. Are you able to do it?
Those who are willing to take the 5 precepts. Why do we take the 5 precepts? This is very difficult. Can you do it?
You should be able to do it.
Those who can do it, I will give you the 5 precepts to uphold. You need to be sincere.
Okay, if you're able to do it.
第一，不杀生，是优婆塞优婆夷戒，汝当能持法。
First precept, you must not take the life of any living being. That is the first precept of a lay person. Can you uphold it?
The first is forgiveness. 第二，不偷盗是优婆塞优婆夷戒，如当能持法。The second is.
Second precept, you must not steal. That is the second precept of a lay person. Can you uphold it?
Yes. 答问您。第三，不邪淫是优婆塞优婆夷戒，如等能持法。
Third precept, you must not indulge in sexual misconduct. That is the third precept of a lay person. Can you uphold it?
The third, you take it. Yes. 第四，不妄语是优婆塞优婆夷戒，如等能持法。
Fourth precept, you must not lie. That is the fourth precept of a lay person. Can you uphold it?
Can you take it? Yes. 第五，不饮酒是优婆塞优婆夷戒，如等能持法。
Fifth precept, you must not take intoxicants. That is the fifth precept of a lay person. Can you uphold it?
You take it? Yes. 他们既然能受这个五戒，这是成佛的根本。
Since they are able to take the 5 precepts, these are the fundamentals toward Buddhahood. 汝等需要时时刻刻谨守奉行，方得到其中的妙处。 You should carefully uphold and practice all the time in order to obtain its wonder.
Okay, let's stop. Translation is pretty good. A different translator? Or same? Don't know? Go ahead, DTT. Have a question.
Emitofuo Master, I have a question about a previous slides was why Great Master YongHua said that you need to reduce the 5 evil mind, the greedy mind, the angry mind, and so forth first, and then you are able to take precepts. Why he said that order?
Okay, why did he say that?
Yes.
Beats me, I don't know. To me, you don't need to take to do those things at all. But I think he was more concerned about teaching the Buddhist concepts, things about greed, anger, stupidity, the 3 poisons. They are the pervasive ailments we all have. We're all greedy, we're all angry, we're all stupid. On top of it, he added arrogance and doubt. And so he chose to talk like that because I think it's more, number one, that he's trying to teach Buddhist theory, Buddhist principles. Okay? And that's fundamental to any spiritual practice. And number two, it turns out those five issues actually are the five dull servants, meaning that they are the impediments to your reaching a certain level of wisdom. Okay, and so it's too technical and too detailed for me to go into, but it's called the five dull servants, and Master Hsuan talked about that. He taught that often, and it's true. Those five things are severe impediments to your spiritual progress, your spiritual development. And so when he said that, so theory-wise or principle-wise, it makes sense. You have to pay attention to it, okay? And finally, I feel that may have to do with the people there, the students there. I think some of them got the potential to reach those levels that he thought that's possible. That's why he stressed it. Okay, he stressed that for that particular group. That's why. And this is kind of detective work. Listening to his teachings again is kind of detective work because I don't know who was there, and so forth. But I can guess from his perspective that he, because I know that he can look at you and he sees your potential. Okay, he has that ability to look at you and say, let me put it this way for you. In the past, you were a second stage arhat already. So for him, this is how he does his sudden teaching. He says, and that's for you. So that's what happened at that time there. He was a bunch of pale-faced people. And you look at them and say, yellow face, pale face, black face, and so forth. Say, okay, today I want to address this person here. You should pay attention to those five things. And that itself is a trigger for that person. In Mahayana, it's called sudden teaching. Okay, so he's a proof. When I hear that, that's a proof that he's actually doing sudden teaching, but none of them gets it. JC. And that's how Master YongHua does it very often. He looks at you and says, he has Su Ming Tong, he has a knowledge of past lives. So his interest was to look at you and say, you were that level already. Now I'm going to activate you so that you get there quicker. This is what good no advisors do. A lot more going on behind the scenes than you guys realize. Yes, go ahead, JC.
마스터 예전 법문을 듣다가 궁금한 것이 생겨서 질문 드립니다. 사람들의 잘못을 보지 말고 생각하지 않고 분석하는 것을 삼가라고 하셨는데요. 그들의 잘못은 그들의 문제라고 하셨습니다. 그런데 친구와 얘기를 하다 보면은 친구가 다른 사람의 잘못을 얘기하고 그것으로 인해서 화가 나고 힘들다고 토로하는 것을 종종 듣는데요. 이럴 때는 제가 대화 상대로서 또 친구로서 어떻게 대처하는 것이 현명한 것인지 궁금했습니다.
And happy holidays to you too.
감사합니다.
Thank you, Master. I have a question from your previous Dharma talk. you advised not to observe and analyze the mistake of others without thinking. Also, you mentioned that your mistakes are their own problems. In conversations with friends, I often heard them talk about the mistakes of others, leading to frustration of difficulty. In such situation, how can I, as a conversational partner, handle it wisely without causing harm and being supportive friend?
Okay, very good. Good question. We leave it to the professor here to answer. Xian Shou, go ahead. 4.
I didn't understand the beginning of the question.
You have to learn Korean. She cited whatever I said. I don't care. I couldn't hear it either. But I said, it doesn't matter. What I said doesn't make sense anyway. So why are people so attached to it? Yeah. Principle is empty. Emptiness is principle. My nonsense is also principle. So basically it has to do with the fact that you shouldn't look at other people's faults. But then she's with people who keep on bringing up other people's faults. What is she supposed to do?
I think after what you teach us, I think is...
after what I taught you?
you
guys are like...
We should not meddle.
Like chatbots, according to Master Shenhua, Master YongHua, I have no opinion.
I think we should not meddle in this case. If there is no danger for any person, and if we see that some person's life is in danger, then maybe we see that we can do something. In those cases, extreme cases, I think we should intervene. But in other cases,
let's ask a woman who has more compassion. Everyone looks down. I'm looking this way. Liang, there you go. Liang, the only one. What is she supposed to do? Yeah. Huh? What is she supposed to do? She says, I've been cooking all day for you and for the temple, and now you still keep me busy? My God. Can I take a break and just enjoy myself? Yeah, go ahead too.
Yeah, Emitofuo Master, for me, it's affect me and I can discuss about that, but it's not about me, so I don't care about that.
Care about that. Okay, very good. Anyone else? What should she do? Yes, Taiwan, number 6.
Thank you, Master. This happens pretty often at office environment.
Yes.
So, yeah, in my case, I just...
Especially with women.
Yes. So I accept and let them vent, but I don't keep that in my mind. But to a point I cannot handle anymore, I just reduce the frequency of meeting them. That's how I handle.
Yeah. It's funny, but also people have told me that they don't just complain about other people, actually they complain about me. And my disciples. So what are they supposed to do? What are you supposed to do if now they complain about your own favorite master? Can you ignore it? So Taiwanese. Anyone else? Huh? What should she do? It's a good question. It's such a simple question, but it's what life is about. That's what cultivation is about.
Go ahead. 1. Emitofuo Master. If somebody complain master, complain with me about master, then I will tell them that you misunderstand master. Yeah, he did that to you, that for you. So it's nothing to do with him.
I'm liking you more and more. Yes, Wei Mong, is it a comment about this?
Thank you, Master. Yes.
Okay, go ahead, yes.
First comment regarding the chatbot. I think just for future reference, I am absolutely planning on farming the petabytes of Dharma talks on our YouTube channel to create Chan GPT.
This, you cannot blame me for having no ambition. Okay.
So thank you for all of your current and future questions or answers.
And when you subscribe, you get a lot more.
And if you would like to see this developed in the future, be sure to like and subscribe to help others encounter Chan GPT.
And Ting should have a, the thing on top of his head, the halo. Okay, seriously.
Yes, seriously though, for the Hankook Sarang who is encountering people judging others in the workplace, I've encountered this a lot too. You can take it as information. One, you don't have to engage. You can just take it as information. You have to be realistic about surviving the workplace, I think. Something I have tried with different levels of success in the past is you can also offer a comment complimenting the person who's being judged. Instead of focusing on their weaknesses, you could highlight a strength as contrast and see how the people react.
Very clinical approach. Okay, sounds like Johns Hopkins approach. Anyone else? Anyone else? Yes, JC. It's interesting how, now that you have different levels and so I see where you're coming from. It's so interesting for me to sit here and listen. I can do this all day. Yes, go ahead, JC, please. We wait for translation, it doesn't matter.
죄송해요. 네, 예전에 들었던 법문이 생각이 나는데요. 그냥 들어준다. 다른 사람의 불만이나 이제 다른 의견을 들어줌으로써 그 사람의 어떤 마음의 압력을 낮춰주는 것도 공덕이 될 수 있다. 그 얘기가 생각이 납니다.
Thank you, Master. After I listened this question, I suddenly remember of your previous Dharma talk. So in this Dharma talk, you said just listen to them what they said, and after they spit out everything what they want to speak, and they reduce their pressure, that's really good for them. So I just remember this.
Wow, I was about to say the same thing again. Wow, I agree with myself. Yes. Let me elaborate. Okay. When someone badmouths or complains about someone else, okay, they are, first of all, don't take it personally. They're, first of all, venting. They're so afflicted, they need to vent. And that's why they have to criticize, they have to badmouth someone else, because it's a venting process. The pressure builds up, and then they need to vent. Otherwise, they go crazy. Think of it like your wife. Okay, she needs to vent. Okay, don't look at it as some stranger. But if we were your wife, what are you gonna do? Ignore her and walk away? Men don't do that. See, so typically you should look at it as venting, and therefore allowing to vent out of compassion, kindness, and compassion. At least let them vent. Okay, and don't take it personally. If you understand that you're willing to sacrifice your time to let them vent, it's an act of compassion, kindness and compassion. And therefore, it puts you in the proper frame of mind. You understand why you're doing this. You're trying to help. You're trying to let them vent. Okay? So it will not make you afflicted at all. But if you say, oh, you call me again and you complain about my favorite master, and I'm not you. Okay, so what am I supposed to do? Why keep on wasting my time? Okay, so I want to encourage you to let them vent first. Okay, it's okay, let them vent. And if you happen to be busy, I'm very sorry, I have to go, they understand. But then the mere fact that you are intentionally allowing them to vent helps tremendously, trust me. But as you listen and you have, like Jung, we have this, I believe in Master, you're so wrong. I hope you go to hell, right? If you have such negative thoughts in your mind, you listen to them, you're not helping. So that's part of your cultivation, is to let them vent and stop yourself from judging them. See the suffering instead of seeing right and wrong. Does it help? Then it makes it easier for you to be not judgmental. You judge them, you disapprove of them because you don't see the suffering. You only see right and wrong. Okay? So do it out of kindness and compassion. Listen to them, let them vent. I don't have to do it, for long. Just let them vent a little bit, and then you make an excuse and move on. Okay? Because they'll repeat themselves. Because they repeat themselves because it's a venting process. It's not logical. It's just vent and vent and vent and vent. So it's your discretion. Up to you. You can decide how long you're going to do that, but at least allow them to vent and move on. That's all. The main thing is use it to work on your kindness and compassion. And number two, watch your mind. Many of you are pretty sick, like manic. So naturally, you will judge them. You say, wow, you are something else. You look so nice. You dress so nice. But I didn't realize this is what you think about Master. Okay? And you're so wrong. He's so right and you're so wrong. That kind of thing. It's perfectly okay. But don't be judgmental. Just embrace them as it's a venting process. That's all. Okay? And they're not asking for you to teach them or to help them. All they want is to vent. So let them and move on. And if you're a salesman, they'll love you. They'll call you and talk to you. And then in the future, when you need to sell a house, buy a car, a Mercedes or a Toyota. It's all the same, you know. Okay? Okay, thank you everyone. Look how happy Sian An Sunim is. All right. She's tuning me out. Yes. Yes, JC.
입니다. 질문이 하나 더 있는데요. 얼마 전에 노스님으로부터 시바리 존자 사리를 받았는데 이 귀한 사리를 어떻게 모시는 게 좋을까 매일 고민을 하다가 그 한국의 시바리 존자 상에 있는 절을 찾았습니다. 그래서 그 절에 오늘 한번 다녀와 볼까 하는데 그것이 도움이 될까요?
It's okay. When Korea translates, we go,
I'm sorry, I just turned off the mic.
You dozed off?
So she said thanks to you for your answering, and also she asked other question. Tommy asked, she got a Venerable Shibari's chara from Master C, so she really wants to take care of the chara. So, but she don't know how can she do. So today actually she searched the internet and she found one of Korean temple. They have the Venerable Shibari statue in there. So is it good for to worship the Shibari's statue for worshiping my charas?
We should ask the Master XC about it. He's the expert. Okay? Ask him. I don't know. I defer to him. He's my Sharira man. All right? Yes, JMT. See, he has the answer already.
Cô có đó thì cô mỗi ngày cô để lại là cô để trên bàn thờ. Thì cô kính Phật sao thì Ngài Sô Ly cũng vậy thôi. Tại vì cái bản thân của cái Sô Ly đó nó có cái phước báo cho người nào thờ lại. Rất là nhiều người đã có kết quả rồi thì cô cứ giữ đó mà trong gia đình cô hoặc để lại cúng dường như ở bàn Phật nhà cô vậy thôi.
So if you already have the Buddha the relics of the Sivali, you just put it up on the altar and you worship just like you worship the Buddha, because Venerable Sivali or the relics itself also have a lot of blessings, and they can give you those blessings as well. There's a lot of people have been experienced that. So then if you already have relics, then you just put it in the altar in your family, and then you bow, you make offering just like you make offering to the Buddha altar. That's all.
Okay, that's very good. But when you bow though, if I may add something, maybe add a comment here. When you bow, as the old abbot is explaining, is talking, I remember why our bowing style is different. The Vietnamese, they go. Isn't that right? I mean, Vanessa has experience. She hangs out in Vietnamese temples. So this. When they first come to our temple, they all go like that. Okay, it's very, very adorned. For us, it's just. Okay. Or the Tibetans. The Tibetans, they bow and they lie down. Right? Something like that? Like this or like this, whatever. But they lie down on the ground, on the floor itself. Very dramatic. Yeah. For us, we just, okay. You see the difference? Do you see the difference in cultivation? Do you understand? You know why we don't put a lot of emphasis on the bowing and stuff like that, because let me tell you, it's a private thing. Okay, we don't want to draw attention to it because most people would misunderstand it. As most people look at us as they're so superstitious, or they're trying to, it's a showing off, that kind of thing. They would judge us. This is what happens naturally. People feel threatened, especially like your husband. The women see their husbands bowing like that to the Shrita and say, "Oh my God, what happened to him now? He's going to give all our money to the temple next." That kind of thing. So it's not a good thing. It's not a comfortable thing for people to see that. They feel threatened. Okay, that's why our practice I appreciate the Chinese style more and more because it's very low key, because you bow with your heart. It's not for anyone else. So if you bow very discreetly with all your concentration, that's much more effective than go like Dang, Dang and WMT, it's cool. My disciples, some of them are pretty weird. Or Xian Tong, this years ago, 4 years ago, when she bowed. Okay, it's too much. I'm glad she stopped. Okay, so it's kind of cool that what we do is very discreet, and that we don't want to draw attention, we don't want to alarm our spouses, our family members, our kids, and so forth. It's so cool. Okay? Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, going back to slide 197, and if you have questions, feel free to ask. He says, I'm teaching you. Master YongHua has explained to his students there, I'm teaching you all these things. It's not for you to know, to brag about it. That, I just learned something new today. He says, can you do it? When I teach you something, it's for you to do it that way. It's not to go back and tell your son about, hey, today Master YongHua, Master YongHua says, don't kill, don't steal, can you do it? He said, because the precepts, like he said, he went through the 5 precepts because he did. We're not supposed to tell you, but he did, so I'm exempt from that as well, okay? If he revealed it. So first precept is this is a ceremony, so not killing, Okay, and then second precept, not stealing. Third precept, sexual misconduct. Number 4, you must not lie. Number 5, you must not take intoxicants. Intoxicants. Okay. And so all this is about, can you uphold it? Can you do it? It's not about knowing. It's not about, oh, you took a precept, and why are you still drinking? Okay? You see, this process is very personal. When you are transmitted the 5 precepts, it's about, the Master says, I'm going to give you these precepts here. Can you do it? And you said, no. Yes. Okay? Depending on who it is. Okay? So you see, it's a personal thing between the disciple and the Master. I promise you, I'm going to do it. That's the process. It's kind of very, very cool. It's very personal in Buddhism. Master says, I'm going to give it to you, the precept substance. Can you do it? And he says, yes, I can. See that? It's very meaningful. It's so beautiful. It's a personal relationship between the Master and disciple. I give it to you now. Will you do it? Can you do it? Are you willing to do it? Okay? And that's how you nurture the relationship. It's not about talking. And he says, if you uphold and practice all the time, you will see its wonders. The wonderful thing, wonders here is wonderful things going to happen to you. Conversely speaking, when you don't uphold it, you will also notice that unwonderful things happen to you as well. That's a tip for you. Bad things that happen to you when you, after you take the precepts, and then you break them. Bad things that happen to you if you have blessings. If you keep on breaking them, then nothing happens anymore. But if you have blessings, the first time you do it, bad things happen to you. Cut a finger, got your nose broken, that kind of thing. My master yells at you, and so forth. Okay? It's so cool, let me tell you. Because remember, it's relationship. You promised to do it, and you failed to do it. That's why you're reminded with your bloody nose. Okay? It's kind of cool. Buddhism is very, very private thing. You know, I'm telling you that because to me, that's very important to me, what my teacher gave me. He gave me only 10 precepts. I'm very proud of it, that he gave it to me. He gave me 5 precepts and 10 precepts. He said, none of you can touch me. None of you can touch it. How dare you? This is between him and me. Only he can destroy it, no one else. Understand? And that's about it. Okay, so then is the next section. Now, what did I want to talk to you about the 5 precepts? It came to mind when I first listened to it, and then as he started discussing, I forgot it, and I just remembered it, now I forgot it again. It's old age, what can I say? Okay, he'll come back, I tell you. Anyone has any questions and comments? Oh. Yes, GMT.
지금 이 5개를 보면 살생, 투도, 그다음에 사음, 불운주, 불망어가 있는데 살생이랑 투도랑 불망어는 뭔가 자기의 이익을 위해서 탐심 때문에 저지를 수 있는 거라고 생각이 드는데 불사함과 불음주는 어떤 것 때문에 어떤 약점이 있으면 이런 거를 저지르기 쉬울 수 있는지 좀 질문드립니다.
Sorry. 죄송해요. 지금 주민님 다시 한번 얘기해 주실래요?
네, 살생하고 투도하고 망어, 그러니까 거짓말하는 거는 탐심이 있기 때문에 이런 잘못을 저지를 수 있다고 생각이 드는데 일단 선생님 여기까지 할까요? 한번 끊을까요?
네. I think the
killing, fighting. 선생님 무슨 말씀? 스님, 죽이고 싸우고 거짓말하는 거는 탐심이 있기 때문에 자기의 이익을 챙기기 때문에 이런 잘못을 저지를 수 있다고 생각을 하거든요.
Wait for Venerable Shenpa.
Please, thank you.
Okay, so what Jimmy said was it's about the precepts about not killing, not lying, not stealing. I understand those are related to the greed.
이런 잘못을 저지를 수 있다고 생각하는데 이제 제가 궁금한 거는 그런 사음이랑 그 다음에 술은 어떤 저희의 그런 욕구라고 해야 되나 어떤 저희가 가지고 있는 것 때문에 이런 계율을 어기게 되는 건지를 제가 질문드리는 겁니다. 감사합니다, 세라님. 그다음 현버스님 감사합니다.
Precepts to not drinking and then not sexual misconduct. When we break these two precepts, what would be the cause of this wrongdoings?
Because you find that person attractive, and we find that dry cider is pretty tasty. Okay, very good. As I remember now what I wanted to say. Master YongHua here is a criticism. Master YongHua also, by tradition, the Chinese transmit to you the five precepts, but they are not preparing you to cultivate it properly. Therefore, almost all the Chinese disciples get into trouble. All the Asian disciples get into trouble, Vietnamese, Tibetan, Indian, you name it, they get in trouble because they're not trained properly how to practice the five precepts. The five precepts is a Dharma door. And therefore, I feel that we're doing our Buddhist disciples a disservice if we don't train them properly in how to practice it. Because Master YongHua is a man of expedience. He used a lot of expedience. So he rushed through this process of training, and he's able to undo the mistakes of his disciples. Because he takes it personally and he's very compassionate, so he helps them, and then that's fine for his generation. But what he's doing, this is a criticism. what he's doing is creating a bunch of bloodsuckers. They depend on him to fix their problems. Okay? And the knowledge rests with him. Then my generation, we're not really taught how to help you at all. Okay? And so that's not good enough for me. We can do the same. We can help as well. But I would rather teach you how to practice the Dharma door. Okay? And that's why before you take the 5 precepts, we put you through a training class to help you understand the precepts better and avoid the pitfalls of the 5 precepts. Because if you are not careful, not many people, not many monks and nuns can help undo the infractions. Right now, I can't think of that many people who can, or if those who can would know what to do or would care what to do. Okay? And that's not good for Buddhism. We transmit a Dharma door to you. We should also teach you how to cultivate it. This is a weakness with the Chinese precepts, Dharma. They don't teach them how to cultivate it. The 5 precepts is a big issue in Buddhism nowadays. Okay, that's why I'm not that crazy and eager about transmitting you the 5 precepts. You have to ask for it. Okay? And when you really want to, we'll teach you. But the Chinese, the Asian, they said, take refuge, now take the 5 precepts. Just like that. To me, it's wrong. It's a Dharma door. I look at it like that. It's not just because I want to teach you, because you're Buddhist, therefore you should receive the 5 precepts. That's too Chinese. Okay? It's, to me, personally, with all due respect, it's wrong. It doesn't serve the young generation. You newbies who are too intellectual, there's huge gaps there in the teaching, in the holes. There's so big holes. Okay? Go ahead, Wei Mao.
Emitofuo Master, I think to the earlier question related to those 2 precepts, if we break it, are we really harming others? I was kind of thinking about that too. And it looks like when I break those 2 precepts, I'm only harming myself. And I think if I looked at my own life in the past, I kind of, whenever I indulge in those things, mostly it is as like coping mechanism, kind of to deal with the stress. And then often I also see it has like a compulsive quality to it. Is that the reason why it's not good for cultivation, because it has that compulsive or addictive quality to it?
It's not. You're trying to understand too much. That's your biggest weakness. You want to understand, and that's fine. But when it comes to this part of cultivation, the way we teach you is not about trying to understand why, but it's about being able to keep it. So you should use your brain power, your intellect, your smarts, to figure out the pitfalls, to avoid it. It's not necessary to understand why, but just find a way to stop yourself from violating it. And if you do that, your wisdom will unfold. If you try to understand it, okay, and rationalize it, it's not that helpful towards opening your wisdom. So this is a problem with you smart people, intellectual people, is that you try to rationalize everything instead of being grateful for receiving the secret teaching here, the secret practice here, this way of practice, a way of life. Practice to us is to live. And if you do it according to the Dharma that's transmitted to you, then great things happen to you, whether you understand it or not. I'm not saying you should be, you shouldn't try to understand. It's normal for you personally to try to understand, because you need to be sure that you're on the right track. That's you, yes? And you would back out, it's the wrong track. So I know if tomorrow you find out I'm a scam artist, you back out and say, hey, sayonara, man. Okay, that's you, okay? But there's lots of things going on here that's beyond your understanding, okay? And if you only, at first you should use your brains, okay, to try to understand as much as possible. At some point in time, you begin to open your wisdom. Then at some point in time, you reach a level where he talked about the 5 things: greed, anger, stupidity, arrogance, and doubt. Doubt is your problem, okay? When you reach a certain level, those are the things that if you are not careful, you will be ejected. You hit the eject button. So it's no longer about smarts. Okay? I assure you, you look around you, there are plenty of people who are just as smart or smarter than you, just as educated or more educated than you, just as accomplished, as successful career-wise as you, or if not more, okay? And so I want to remind all of you, that's a comfort level you should have. Don't depend so much on your intellect, your understanding, like you and Alex and those people and, you know, the professor here. You have that problem. And we're willing to be patient with you and until you get better and better. Let me warn all of you, eventually, okay, you have to pass that test. He passed that test, and he struggled a lot for years. This guy there, the guy who now says, Master is never wrong. Can you believe this guy? That's so wrong. Don't believe him, okay? You get the point? You know, that he's an engineer, and that's, you know, he needs facts, okay? And so it's okay for you, but eventually, I'm warning you, you want to go further, you have to let go of that getting to the bottom of it, okay? Because that is an impediment to your wisdom, believe it or not. You're able to understand so much more, so much faster, if you just stop trying so hard to understand. Seriously. Initially, that's fine. For you, Alex, and all those people, that's fine. But eventually, you begin to understand. You begin to see that by not trying so hard to understand, that's when you're free from your intellect. You are a slave to your intellect right now. Your intellect is imprisoning you between this wall of logic, of facts, of things that has to be logical and sensible to you. You are a prisoner. You live in hell, in a prison, like the old abbot live in a prison in Korea. Okay, you're imprisoning yourself, like he's imprisoning himself. It's not my fault. Okay, it helps? Okay, you feel free. You guys feel free. You can ask anything you want, and we all have fun. We learn from that because each of you brings your own perspective. So it's good to share it. Feel free to ask and to question. It's perfectly okay. But I'm warning you, eventually, you have to let go of that. Okay? And that's when you blossom. Seriously, your wisdom will blossom beautifully, like a flower. I'm sounding like a salesman now. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.